Hey guys, in today's video I am going to show you how to install Windows 11. So let's get started. So head over to your web browser and search the Windows 11 Media Creation tool, and you're going to go ahead and click Download Windows 11 when the search comes up. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Windows 11 installation media. But first, I wanted to show you the different options on this page right here. You've got the Windows 11 Installation Assistant, and this will actually let you upgrade your current Windows 10 computer to Windows 11 as long as you meet all of the requirements. And then we've also got the Windows 11 Installation Media, which is what we are doing in today's video. And at the bottom here, we've also got an option to download Windows 11 Disk Image ISO for 64-bit devices. Okay, that's a whole different topic. We are not getting into that today. But if you do want to upgrade your current computer from 10 to 11, you can use the Installation Assistant. But we are going to use the Windows 11 Media Creation tool today to show you how to install Windows 11 from scratch on a device. So let's get into it. So we're going to go ahead and click download here on the Create Windows 11 Installation Media, and then the file will download up at the top right corner, and when we click on that, it will launch the installer. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and just click Accept to get through the agreement here. Once we click Accept, it'll take us to the next screen here. Okay, it's going to get a few things ready. This will take just a moment. Okay, and then what we're going to do here is just verify everything looks correct. We're going to leave everything as it is, and we are going to go ahead and click Next. Now, we are going to be using a USB flash drive. It needs to be at least 8 gigabytes. Okay, so I'm using a 64 gigabyte USB drive. As long as it's at least 8 gigabytes, you're fine. You go ahead and plug that into your computer. Now, I'm using a USB hub, but of course you can plug directly into your desktop or laptop, or if you have a USB hub. And once you get that plugged in, we're going to go back to the other screen now, and we'll continue from here. Now that our USB drive is plugged in, I'm going to go ahead and click on Next. And we're going to verify the drive letter is correct, which in my case is drive letter E. Yours might be drive D, or could be anything, honestly. Okay, so now it's going to start downloading Windows 11 to the USB flash drive. It's going to make your USB drive bootable, and that's exactly how we will install Windows 11 on the laptop that we are going to be working on here momentarily. Now this download process will take a few minutes, so I have sped it up tremendously to go ahead and show you. Once it gets to 100%, it will then proceed to the next step. Once it's downloaded, it's going to actually create the media, so this is going to make the USB drive bootable, which we must have so that we can put Windows 11 on our device. Now this will also take a few minutes, so I have sped it up. And once it is done, we'll go on to the very last step here. Okay, the USB flash drive is ready, so we're going to click Finish, and we are done. Okay, so now that we have our little USB drive with the Windows 11 Media Creation tool, which I have labeled here MCT Windows 11, we're going to take this drive and we are going to simply insert it into one of the USB ports on this laptop. Okay, so now that is plugged in, and now we need to power on the laptop, and here's where you need to figure out which of these function keys invokes your boot up device. That way it doesn't automatically load from the hard drive, but instead loads from your USB drive. So this is a Lenovo laptop, and most laptops will load you from a USB drive using the F9 or the F10 key, maybe the F11 key, but this one right here actually has a little verbiage right there that says press enter to load up this menu right here, and then it says press F12 to load a temporary device. So I'm going to load F12, just pressed the F12 key, and now it's actually booting up from that, and as you can see, it says entering boot menu. Okay, so now we are in the Lenovo boot menu screen, and I am going to tell this to boot from my USB hard drive, which is right there, which it's the PNY USB. Okay, we want to do this so that we're starting the computer from this and not the internal hard drive. Okay, so now we are going to boot up from the USB drive. And I like that my drive actually has a light on it. I can see when it's being accessed. So I can see it's blinking right there. So any moment now, we should start seeing the Windows 11 installer start. There's the spinning circle. And here is the screen right here for Windows 11. Okay, so once we are on the first screen of the Windows 11 installation, we are going to just leave everything as is. English, United States. Now, of course, change this according to your region. We're going to click Next. And on the next screen, you do have a Repair Your Computer option. So if you do have a problem with your current Windows 11 installation, perhaps it's not starting up correctly or just needs some kind of repair, well, you can use the Media Creation tool for that as well. But for this, we are starting fresh. We are going to click Install Now. And then you get the setup is starting at the very bottom of the screen. And this process only takes a few minutes. It's actually pretty quick. And my USB drive is being accessed and everything is starting to load up here. And on this screen, we are just simply going to accept the agreement. And then we are going to click Next. Okay, so now you have an option to do an upgrade or to do a custom install. So if you're running this, I guess like on a Windows 10 machine, you can try the upgrade option and it will transfer everything over. However, we are starting from scratch, a fresh, clean install, which is always best. I prefer a custom clean install over an upgrade because if you do have problems on your previous operating system, the upgrade may transfer some of those issues over with it. But I understand not everybody wants to do a clean install. Okay, now I can see all of the partitions on my internal hard drive and we need to just erase all of these. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to click on the first partition, 0 there. I'm going to delete. Okay, and just ignore these messages. It's just warning you that any data on the drive will be deleted. Okay, and now I'm going to delete the second one. And as you can see, as I delete these, they turn into this unallocated space or they just simply disappear. Okay, the idea here is to get everything down to just one single partition. Okay, I got one left here, the recovery partition. Okay, everything is gone. And now you can click New, and that'll go ahead and make your new partition, or you can click Next. It'll do it just the same. I'm going to click New, though, just to show you. When I click New, it shows the hard drive size, which this is a 512 gig drive, which is 488,000 megabytes. Okay, I am going to hit Apply. It's going to say that it's going to create whatever partitions it needs for system files. I'm going to hit OK. And now we have our partitions, and those first two partitions are not the actual Windows installation, but it is required. But we're going to put everything right here on the large 476 gig partition, and I didn't even select that. It does it automatically for you, which is why I said earlier, if you just simply hit Next, it just does all of this for you. So that's kind of how I usually do it. I'm going to click Next now, and this will start going through the installing Windows process, and it will give you a status for each selection on here. Right now it is copying Windows files, and as you can see, it's copying those pretty quickly. We're already at 30% in just a matter of seconds. And then it's going to go through each one of these items, and then it will finish up, and we will almost be done with the initial part of this. Okay, it has finished the copying Windows files, and now it is on the getting files ready for installation, and it's moving right along. It's at 4%, 6%, 7%, and it's moving right along. And then it will start installing features and updates, and it will finish. Shouldn't take but a few minutes, and I'll go ahead and fast forward to the next step. Okay, moving right along, and it has completed all of the steps, and now it is going to restart the computer. You can click Restart Now or just let it go ahead and do its timeout, and it is restarting now. So overall, that only took, honestly, less than 5 minutes. It was pretty quick. So that's the initial part of the Windows 11 installation. Now we've got some setup to do once it comes back up here, so just stay tuned. Okay, so here we are. This is the beginning of the Windows 11. Now that we have it installed, we have to go through the actual setup. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and select United States. Okay, I'm going to go down here and click yes. Okay, this is the right keyboard, United States. We do not want to add a second keyboard layout. Okay, so this is something you need to pay very close attention to. Microsoft would really prefer that you set up a Microsoft account for your Windows. Okay, me personally, I don't want to do that. I want to use a local account. I do not want to log into Windows with a Microsoft account. So by default, they are forcing you to connect to the internet before you can go any further. They want to get you online and they want you to log in with a Microsoft account. So the way we're going to get past this is we're going to push Shift and F10 on the keyboard. So I'm basically just going to come down here and I'm going to just see if I can show this in the screen. I'm going to do Shift and then I'm going to do F10, okay? And what that does is it launches a command prompt window, okay? And what we're going to type in is well, let me get in here. Okay, now let me click in the box, OOBE, okay, and then we're going to do /bypassNRO. So let me make sure you can see that. Okay, OOBE /bypassNRO. Okay, and when we do that, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. It's going to immediately restart the computer. And after it restarts, we are going to have a new option here that is going to let us skip over this whole connect to the internet screen, and it's going to allow us to actually set up Windows 11 with a local account instead of using a Microsoft account. Now, it's no big deal if you would like to use a Microsoft account. I'm not saying it's bad. But I prefer to have a local account that's stored directly on the machine and that is not tied to an online account. Okay, so this will be up momentarily here, and it's going to pick up pretty much where we left off, except we're now going to have a new option that will let us proceed without an internet connection. Okay, so we're right back where we were before, and this looks just like we had it earlier. Okay, we've actually got to go through these screens again, so I'm just going to say yes to the United States, and then yes to the US keyboard. I do not want to add a second keyboard. Okay, now if you look down here at the bottom, as you can see, there's an option right here that says, I don't have internet. So now if we select I don't have internet, it's now going to give us an option here to connect with limited setup, okay? So what that's going to do is let us set up Windows with a local account. Okay, and now it's asking for the name. Now, I always just put user. I don't like to put very identifying information in here, you know, that's specific to names. But you do whatever you're comfortable with. I like user, just sort of an IT thing. Okay, for password, I am going to leave it blank for now. I'm going to hit next. So by entering that command earlier, OOBE /bypassNRO, we have been able to set up Windows 11 with a local user account and did not have to log into a Microsoft account. Plus, maybe you don't have a Microsoft account and you just don't want to go through the hassle of it right then and there. Using this method will let you skip right over that and just quickly get your computer set up. You can always add the Microsoft account later. Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and turn off all of these features about advertising and location and stuff. I'm going to hit accept. Okay, we are back to the just a moment screen, and now it says hi, which if you've done this before, you know that we are now just about there. Okay, getting things ready for you, and Windows 11 will be loaded here momentarily. We will be at the desktop, and then at that point you can connect to the internet. You can download whatever you need. Make sure you do all of your Windows updates. Those updates are important, especially when you're using the media creation tool, as it's not going to give you the latest and greatest version of Windows 11. So you want to make sure you do connect to the internet. Get on Windows updates, which I will show you here momentarily, and then all of those updates will start pulling in, and those could take hours actually. But we should be almost there, and it says do not turn off your computer, so it is very important that you stay plugged in and that you let your computer remain powered on, and it'll eventually get through this right here any moment now. Okay, we are almost there. And there we go. There is our Windows 11 desktop. So what I'm going to quickly do is connect to the internet. And by the way, at this point, you can unplug your USB media creation tool. So we don't need that. We'll just set that to the side here. Okay, and I'm going to connect to the internet real quick. So just click on the little globe down here in the bottom right-hand corner. You'll click on that globe, and then you'll come up here and you'll click on the arrow next to the Wi-Fi symbol, and all of the available Wi-Fis will show up. Okay, so we are now connected to the internet. As you can see, now there is a Wi-Fi symbol right there. So that is now connected. So now we're going to go over here to the Start button, and we're going to go to Settings. We're going to go to this gear right here. Now, the first thing you're going to want to check is that you are activated. So I can come over here and I can just simply type in right here, see if I just typed in part of the word activation, see if Windows is activated, and right there, Windows 11 Pro active, and it's got a check mark, so we are good to go there. Now, if yours is not activated, your hardware may not be licensed already, and you may have to buy a product key. So that's something you'll have to just take up with Microsoft. But if you do have a licensed device, then you should be fine. Okay, I'm going to go to Windows Update down here at the bottom and check for updates. And this is going to immediately start pulling in all kinds of updates. There'll be driver updates specific to your hardware, but there's also the Windows 11 cumulative updates that, you know, really fix a lot of things and provide a lot of design changes overall in the operating system. So you're going to want to do these updates. There's going to be reboots involved, and then you're going to come back and check for more updates until you get all of them. You can also check this box that says get the latest updates as soon as they are available. That one, that's kind of a personal decision. I'm going to go ahead and just check it because I do want this thing completely updated to the latest. I won't say the latest and greatest, but to the latest. So that's basically it. And as you can see, it has already pulled in quite a few updates. There's Intel updates and Lenovo updates, and there's one of the big ones I was talking about. There's the cumulative 2025, cumulative update. That's one of them, and there's going to be a lot more of that. In fact, there's another one up there, update preview for Windows 11. So yeah, there's lots of updates in here, and it's going to just take some time. And they automatically start downloading. These downloads are starting to add up. So you just kind of let it do its thing. There's a bunch of these in here. So it'll take time. Let all of those update. You'll have to do some restarts, and then it'll just keep on updating until it finally gets caught up. It usually takes, it could take a few hours depending on your internet speed and all that. But that is how you install Windows 11, and that is how you bypass the requirement of having a Microsoft Online account. So as always, thanks for watching.